Right. Yeah, time for the week again for more Amstrad Action. We're starting issue number 59 tonight. August 1990. Presumably it's still £1.45. Scan gets cut off for whatever reason. Just is. Still not an official Amstrad publication. Just gotta make sure you know that. These games could damage your health. Stunt Car Racer, Fighter Bomber, Lords of Chaos, International 3D Tennis, Deliverance. 5 games to change your life in one issue. You have been warned. Plus, Naked Video, the final installment. Write your own mega game, selling your masterpiece. Pixel Perfection in Gallery. More adventuring lore with the Bullrog. Complete Castle Master solution. Public domain software you must have. Also, Dynasty Wars, Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters, and Shadow Warriors. We start with a Data Electronics ad. It's going to take up, 3 pages again? No, just 2. Lineup, Amstrad Action, August 1990. The front end, M-Scene, all the news that's fit to print, and more besides. Reaction, well, that's what you think. Win a digitizer. Rombo's Brill Vidi Digitizer, up for grabs. The action begins on 35. Fighter Bomber. Activision's superb combat flight sim is here at last. A Stunt Car Racer. Hard Driving meets Chase HQ. What a corker. Plutonium Death, you repulsive alien weirdos. Gallery, the best of in CPC art. Action test, page 35, Fighter Bomber, Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters, Dynasty Wars, Stunt Car Racer, Shadow Warriors, Kenny Dalglish Soccer Match, Lords of Chaos, Rad Ramp Racer, Super Trucks, Deliverance, International 3D Tennis. All the games you want to see. These Lords of Chaos, Deliverance, Run Blast Kill, it's what it's all about. The Borog, Adventuring's answer to Doc Savage. Small ads, better than a car boot sale any day. Amstrad User Club, again. I'm a resident in the UK. Oh. M-Scene. Fun School 3 continues educational boom. Fun School 2, the educational program that took everyone by surprise by rocketing to the top of the software games charts, is back. At the last count, Fun School 2 had sold more than 150,000 copies across all formats, 30,000 of which were on the CPC, easily making it the most successful educational package so far. Database has high hopes that Fun School 3 will break the record set by its predecessor. National Curriculum. Fun School 3 is the follow-up to the best-selling program, and it promises to be even better, with graphics to rival those in top computer games. Graphics aren't the only area where improvements have been made, though. FS3 has been developed in conjunction with leading educationalist, apparently it's the one, in line with the national curriculum. Age ranges have been adjusted accordingly. There will still be 3 packages, but this time they're aimed at different age groups, under 5s, 5 to 7, and the over 7s. The software is designed to encourage development of a range of learning abilities. Each package includes several different sections concentrating on numeracy, comprehension, and word skills. Children will be allowed to learn at their own pace and at the same time improve their computer literacy. The characters that kids became so familiar with are here too. The teddies, frogs, and robots are all featured as a guide through the 6 programs in each package. Promotional support. The box will include more than just the software. Promotional freebies like badges will be in there too. Most interesting of all, though, is a competition entry card. Purchasers of the program are invited to come up with ideas for a future educational race, unsurprisingly to be called Fun School 4. As well as the winner's design appearing in the package, a £300 prize is up for grabs. In addition, royalties will be paid on all copies of the program sold. Database has plenty of ideas of its own for the forthcoming Fun School 4, but at the moment it's concentrating its efforts on 3 to make sure it's finished in time for release. The under 5's version is already complete, and AA is hoping to bring you an exclusive preview soon. Work on the other 2 versions is well underway. The CPC version of Fun School 3 is expected to be on sale from the beginning of September. Price will be $12.99 on cassette and $16.99 for the disc version. Next month, don't miss the September issue of Amstrad Action because we will have news of a major launch. We can't tell you anymore now, except that it's big. Yeah, I wonder what that could be. Charity begins at Hull. The Compute for Charity show held in Hull over the 30th of June, 1st of July has been hailed as a success by the organisers. 3,500 people turned up for the event, which aimed to raise as much cash for charity as possible. A total of £10,000 was raised over the 2-day show. The money is to be divided between a local charity, Kingston Special Needs Scout Group, and the nationwide Children in Need appeal. Visitors expecting to see all the latest in computer technology would have been disappointed, though. The primary motive of the show was selling software, and plenty of that went on. Only 4 game software houses actually took stands at the show: Ocean, Gremlin, Domark and Virgin. But many others chipped in by sending software for the organisers to sell at knockdown prices. In addition to the sale of software, the show boasted a science fiction convention with best-selling author Terry Pratchett in attendance. Fans of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy were catered for too. The guide was there itself, and you could request information about, well, life, the universe and everything. A presentation at the end of the show awarded 3 computer systems, an ST and 2 Amigas, boo, to special needs groups, including the Kingston Scout Group. Plans were also announced to take the show on the road. A coach will tour the length and breadth of the country, visiting all major towns and cities. The aim once again is to raise money for needy causes. If you want to know more, you talk to Andrew Whittaker, the man behind Compute for Charity. Stop press! Thanks to a horrible typographical bung-up, the pokes in cheat mode for Castle Master and Airborne Ranger are complete gibberish. Well, sort of. See Afterthought for the full ghastly story. Now where's my revolver? Disney coming your way. French software house Titus has signed up a deal with the Walt Disney Company to launch a brand new computer label. Disney software will produce games based on characters from the famous cartoons, as well as Disney films. The company's first release, due to hit its streets in October, is Dick Tracy. The game will feature scenes from the forthcoming movie, which stars, incidentally, a slightly un-Disney-like Madonna. It's not just games titles in the offing, though. The company intends to concentrate heavily on educational software too. Characters like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck and Goofy will appear in the early learning programs. This educational software should be in the shops by September. Prices are not yet known, so stay tuned. Meanwhile, Titus is also working on a revolutionary new games idea called the Action Concept. The principle is that of a totally new and unique computer language featuring full-screen isometric 3D graphics and characters apparently equipped with their own attributes and personalities. Users will initially purchase a system disk which contains a special programming language data. And from then on, you can buy the accompanying data disks which contain the games themselves. First off the production line is a game called Commando War, which is a 1 or 2 player jungle-bound tactical battle. AA will bring you the full review, of course, as soon as we get our copy. Sure. Can't wait for that. Megatip Games Line. Hotshot Entertainment has launched a new service that enables you to phone up a Megatip Games Line and find out about the hot secrets of the latest games. Yes, it's one of those 0898 numbers. Good news for BT, but bad news for your bank balance. Amstrad Action tapped in the number to come up with a verdict. The service can be useful as tips are given in good detail, but the games pass one by one And so the problem is the call could cost you from 25p right up to it doesn't bear thinking about. It depends on how far into the call the game you want it is. Calls cost 25p per minute cheap rate and 38p at other times. Hotline to us. Ooh. Heroic Domark. Domark has been busy, but not as busy as anyone who buys its latest compilation, Heroes, is going to be. Time to lure games players in off the sun-drenched beaches of the UK. You must be joking. This summer, the 4-game compilation consists of classics License to Kill, Barbarian 2, The Running Man, and Star Wars. Prices will be $14.99 on cassette and $19.99 on disc, and Heroes should be available from the end of July. 2-in-1 will go. Another CPC to PC to CPC program has been re-released. The program 2-in-1 was developed by Moonstone Computing, the firm behind the multi-file utility reviewed last month. While MFU was primarily a program to interchange files between different CPM machines, with PC transfer as one of the minor options, 2-in-1 is a dedicated PC to CPC transfer utility. The program is said to offer far greater flexibility when it comes to dealing with PC disks. Instead of just reading and writing to MS-DOS disks, the package can format them as well. A unique feature of the software is the ability to create double format disks. These can be used both by the PC and CPC, allowing data transfer in the time it takes to load a file. The program has been marketed by Moonstone in the past, but the company has now passed on distribution to CPC specialist MicroStyle. AA is hoping to have a review for you in a forthcoming issue. The program should be on sale at $24.95 by the time you read this. Fire and Forget 2. Fans of Titus's Fire and Forget will be thrilled to learn that Fire and Forget 2 is nearing completion. You drive/fly a powerful combat vehicle along a twisting road attacking 60 different enemies, all part of one huge convoy of terrorists. Along the way, you can pick up extra weapons, ammunition, and fuel, and you'll need all three if you're to reach the head of the convoy and the ultimate confrontation with its leading vehicle. Fire and Forget 2 will feature fast 3D action, 15 different tunes, and bonus levels. Look out for it. Just half a screenshot there. Bond is back. Denmark is on the license trail again, and with yet another Bond-based release. The latest epic features all your favourite characters from the 1977, gosh, I was only 11, film The Spy Who Loved Me. In the game, you're thrown straight in at the deep end. Arch-villain Karl Stromberg has captured 2 nuclear submarines and plans to nuke New York and Moscow, the devil. You're not on your own, however. Beautiful Russian spy Anya Amasova is on your side, and between you have to defeat the evil Stromberg, helped by Q's specially modified amphibious Lotus Esprit. Can you save the civilized world and Hull from nuclear disaster? Only time will tell. 124D printer from Citizen Europe. Citizen Europe is set to release a new entry-level 24-pin 124D printer in August, which aims to offer educational, home and small business users superb value for money. The retail price of the new model is expected to be below £290 plus VAT. The 124D is aimed primarily at users who are seeking 24-pin quality at an excellent price, users who want to upgrade from 9-pin to 24-pin quality without paying a prohibitive cost, and first-time buyers who want quality output straight away. Budget 24-pin printing. Ink again. Fed up with buying expensive printer ribbons all the time? Disappointed with the messy, uneven ink spreading that home re-inking results in? A product called the Themis Re-Inker could be the answer. Ink is poured in through a duct and the ribbon is coated with an even film automatically. The drawback? The re-inker costs £149 plus the dreaded VAT. You need to buy 30 ribbons at a $5 each before the Themis becomes a viable alternative. For this reason, VACT offers services, the company which market the device is aiming at high volume users, such as businesses and computer clubs. VACT does offer a re-inking service of its own, however, with prices starting at £1.50 plus VAT. Amstrad goes spare. Amstrad is striving to improve its customer support with the opening of a new spare parts centre in Staffordshire. It will mean that dealers requesting parts for Amstrad products will be offered a quicker, more efficient service. In the past, spares have been distributed from the company's Harlow site. The move coincides with the incorporation of a number of new systems into the operation, including 24-hour delivery of spares anywhere in the country. Barry Young, Amstrad UK's marketing director, explains the changes. Until now, we have reacted to orders and often found ourselves without sufficient stock. With the new systems in place, we will quickly become the most efficient and disciplined in the business. The benefit to dealers should filter through to the end user, instead of sometimes waiting for weeks on end for repairs to be made. The speedy service will allow dealers to make short work of any computers to be fixed. The traditional excuse, well, we've got to wait for the plastic grommets from Taiwan to come in, will no longer be valid. Sirens blaring. Siren software is a whole batch of goodies. They should keep your CPC happy throughout the cold, dark summer. For starters, everyone who buys a 3.5-inch second drive for their machine will also receive a free RAM disk program. The RAM disk is accompanied by a selection of other disk utilities, including a sector editor, fast formatter, and directory editor. That allows both standard and RAMS-DOS or ROMS-DOS formatted disks to be tinkered with. The collection usually sells for $14.99. Siren's PC Trans program, as reviewed last month, is now available. Price is $24.99. The company has also secured a number of Amstrad 3-inch drives at a bargain price. The DD1, which consists of the drive plus an interface, that's the DDI one, to allow 464 owners to upgrade to a disk system, is available for $79.99. The DD1, suitable as a second drive for any of the CPC range, is going for $74.99. Siren is also shortly to start releasing software on 3.5-inch disc. 3.5-inch format is becoming an ever popular choice for a second CPC drive, but whether CPC's software on that format will do well remains to be seen. If you're interested in any of these products, then give Siren a bell. Siren covers Siren software, a whole host of goodies for CPC owners on the way. Sugar's success story. Alan Sugar is well known as the brains behind Amstrad, the success story of the 1980s. Well published to coincide with the 10th anniversary of the flotation of Amstrad, it's a piece of literature that's sure to interest many readers, called Alan Sugar, the Amstrad Story. It sets out to describe the man's meteoric rise from humble beginnings to his position as one of the country's top entrepreneurs. From selling car aerials when he was 19, Sugar has made his way up the business ladder to become one of the richest men in the country. His personal philosophy of aggression, energy, realism, and instinct, combined with a flair for design, marketing, and packaging, have made him one of Britain's most innovative and pioneering businessmen. The book includes an outline of Sugar's keys to success and how he brought technology out of the lab and into the home, extensive interviews with the key people in the company, and insights into Sugar's business secrets make up just a fraction of the book, which should be essential readings for any Amstradophile. MFU goes wacky. As reported in last month's AA, see the PC Plus article, Wacky has secured the distribution rights of Moonstone's general-purpose file transfer program multi-file utility. The program, which transfers files between different types of CP/M-based machines, is also capable of reading and writing files onto MS-DOS disks. It was picked as the best utility for transferring data between the CPC and PC in our review. The program, as predicted, will retail at $29.95. Contact Wacky for further details. Right, there they are there. Reaction. Want to put the world right? This is the place to do it. Credit where it's due. I'm a 13-year-old boy who is thoroughly upset. Why, you may ask? Well, I've recently purchased a copy of X Out. After a week of hard playing, I finally completed it. To my disappointment, all it said in very small insignificant letters at the bottom of the screen was, "Well done, you've defeated the alien intruders," or words to that effect. This, I thought, was a total anticlimax. Okay, it's the gameplay that matters, but at the end of many long hours playing time, you expect something decent. I would, and I'm sure lots of other people would get more satisfaction and pleasure from completing a game if at the end there was a screen message of congratulations and or a full screen of graphical display. For the 15 quid I paid, I thought a little more than one sentence conclusion is called for. Michael Brown, Leeds. Mark Hill, final screens are quite often a disappointment, and I'm sure your views are shared by many others. So here's the message to the software houses. We don't expect a holiday in the Bahamas or a Rolls Royce or even 1 year subscription to AA. All we want is a decent graphical sequence that would do justice to those who've worked their way through the game weight, right? Where is Laser Squad 2? I've been reading your magazine for almost 2 years now. I've been unable to fault it in any way, shape or form, until now. Oh. After purchasing the excellent Laser Squad, I was happy to hear that Target Games would bring out another expansion kit. This being expansion kit 2. You reviewed it in the June edition of AA, but I'm still unable to pick up a copy from any outlet of computer games that I know of. My question is this: why do you not print along with the review and expected release date of that particular game, so that we get to know roughly when the game is going to be released? Neil Davies, Shrewsbury. The expansion kit isn't in the shops. Target is only selling it direct. Price is £4 for the cassette version, £6 for disc, P&P included. You order it directly from Target Games. Mr. Angry. Oof. Yes, there's something I want to get off my chest. The games and software houses really pee me off. Take Bubble Bobble, for example. Do I take it there's more than one version of the game doing the rounds? I got one from Home Computer Club, Baroval rip-off, because what you save on software is put back on with post and packing costs. And there's only 80 levels. The Infinite Lives poke listed in AA35 has allowed me to complete the game. The end result is hardly spectacular, though. A poxy little message with some bull about having found the true meaning of life, love, and happiness. Sorry if I've spoiled it for anyone, but come on. I was at least expecting some sort of graphic routine. Then in AA41, a password for levels 80 plus has been sent in. Was I or was I not ripped off? No. The followers of the Balrog will be aware of the bug in Rogel's Revenge. I sent my bugged copy back to Master Trunk for a replacement with a note explaining the fault. I received a prompt reply. Eagerly I completed part 1, only to find to my annoyance that part 2 was still unplayable thanks to the same bug. See my letter AA35. If they can't even be bothered to check faulty tapes, then they can't be much of an outfit. Master Tronic, get your act together. I sent off for Dungeons, Amethyst, Alchemist, etc. and Sandra Sharkey's GAC game Shimer in time for Christmas '88. For in a week, I had a copy of DAA, and I've heard zilch from Mrs. Sharkey to this day. Another thing that makes me ever so cross is what I call the cinema factor. If you wait long enough, a box office smash will almost certainly be out on video. It's the same with computer games. A full-price game is bound to come out on a budget label sooner or later. I recently picked up Barbarian, Paperboy, and Andy Cap, all for under £3. A few quick queries now, although it's been out for some time. I recently bought Codemaster's Superhero. Towards the end of loading, the screen corrupts and the game still loads okay. Is this supposed to happen because my azimuth doesn't need adjustment? How are game logos reproduced for cheat mode? Does Ollie have to mutilate countless cassette inlays? Finally, what are the AA team's favourite selections for group names on Rockstar Eat My Hamster? Andrew McDonald, Eccleshaw, Staffs. Gordon Bennett. A quick poll of the future publishing officers has revealed that no one has any recollection whatsoever what their Bubble Poke in AA41 did, but not really surprising, as we have had a complete change of staff since then. Secondly, I would hardly call charging for postage and packing a rip-off. I'd be inclined to call it perfectly standard practice myself. As far as Rogel's Revenge is concerned, I would have thought there would be a statute of limitations on games. However, even though we're going back 2 years, maybe Master Tronic could still be persuaded to sort it out for you. Why not give them another chance? The same applies to Sandra Sharkey. Maybe your order got lost. Was your check cashed? Right, now for full-price software versus budget re-releases. Yes, you can wait a year or so and get a previously full-price game at a much lower price, but who wants to wait? CPU software gets better every year, and if you want to be continually 2 years out of date, it's up to you. Having said that, I do sympathise, especially if people buy a full-price game only a couple of months before it hits the budget market. Your problem with superheroes is a new one on us. Loading screens do occasionally become corrupted without affecting the game, so if it still plays okay, I wouldn't worry. Finally, yes, Ollie does mutilate dozens of game packs for each cheat mode of the rotter, and our favourite gamers group in Rockstars, King Gummidge and the Psychopaths. Oh. Violent opinions. During a recent discussion with a friend of mine in a local pub, the subject of violence cropped up. They seemed of the opinion that a lot of blame for the level of violent crime today in society was due to the high level of violence in computer and video games. This, in my opinion, is utter nonsense. The main cause of the degeneration of our society into a state where young kids daren't go to a soccer match, whole teams of police patrol the streets on a Friday and Saturday night, and women have to walk home in groups for fear of being attacked or worse, come down to lack of parental control. Parents today all too readily shirk their responsibility for the civilized upbringing of their children. The kids themselves have a simple answer, but there's nothing for us to do. The truth is, however, there's too much for them to do. Home computers, videos, sports complexes, snooker halls, bowling alleys, cinemas, pool halls, swing pools, and now even satellite TV, as well as 1,001 other activities. Today's kids have lost the ability to entertain themselves. I'm sick to death of hearing kids say, I'm bored. Now, a complaint. So, what was that then, Ed? Why do you run a buyer's guide every month? Surely a bi-monthly feature or quarterly feature would suffice, leaving the 3 empty pages to run a new item or extend an existing one. As it stands, those 3 pages are a waste of space. Back to violence again. Oh, crikey. Why isn't anybody writing war games for the Amstrad anymore? Or just you wait. It's been a long time since I've seen one in the shops, since seen one reviewed, or even been sent details of games on other formats, the manufacturers of which have my name on their mailing lists. Now, another complaint. It's been one of those days, you know. I'm getting a little tired of being ripped off by all the software companies. Why should I pay $9.99 or even $14.99 for a game when all I have to do is wait 6 months to a year for it to be released on a budget label? I have a large collection, almost 500 games. Many, in fact the majority, are Razer Master games, and now they are starting to appear on budget labels. I feel cheated. It's not to say you are going to pick up a good game every time you spend $1.99 or $2.99, usually far from it. There is some unbelievable rubbish being produced, just waiting to sucker a youngster into spending 3 weeks of pocket money on it, and then get a huge disappointment. Even those geniuses, Codemasters, are guilty of it. Anyway, you ever played Super Tank Simulator? Atlantis seems to delight in producing rubbish, in particular SAS Assault and League Challenge. Though fairly old, they are still abominations compared to what was being produced 3 years ago. The moral of the story is cheap very often means nasty, and if it's expensive, and especially if it's a Rave or Master game, don't buy it yet. Wait a year, it's bound to appear on a budget label or even a compilation. That way you'll save yourself a fortune. So come on, software houses, I know it makes good marketing sense to try and breathe some life into an old dog and make a fast buck. But is it really ethical to sell rubbish and rip people off? I would welcome comments from other readers, yes, even the ones who think I'm a prattling idiot and should crawl back under my stone and stop causing bother, although I rather think it will be the games producers who think this. Tony Perkins, Bishop Auckland. Are you a prattling idiot? No, okay, fair. Fair's fair, you got your own opinion. But you list all those things that kids can do. You didn't list one that was free. Okay, so $2.50 may not make much difference to you or I when we want to see a film, but if you're still at school or unemployed, a simple trip to the flicks can be completely out of the question. Just see how well you can entertain yourself on a wet December evening in Hartlepool with 50p in your pocket. Now, the buyer's guide, if you know everything there is to know about the CPC already, then yes, it's a waste of space. However, we have many new readers joining us all the time, and many others who don't see every issue. This is why we still run the buyer's guide every issue. Printing it once every few months would be a disaster. Will a permanent and regular source of reference like this you ever run it all the time or not at all? War games? That's easy. Buy Laser Squad. It's not a historical simulation, but it is without doubt the best tactical combat game ever written and ever likely to be written. I like it. Budget re-releases? You're the second to complain about those this month. I agree it's frustrating to pay full whack for a game you could have got for $2.99 6 months later, but it's hardly a rip-off if software houses take the commercially perfectly reasonable decision to maximise their sales by re-releasing at a lower price. And although the quality of other original budget games can be very low, the same can be said for the price. Basically, you get what you pay for in this world. Sometimes you get a bargain, sometimes you don't. Spare thought too for the programmers of budget games who spent hundreds of hours slaving over code that might ever only earn them a few £100s. It's a tough market out there. And I can't believe you're worried about kids being ripped off for $2.99 when early on you were recommending spending it on sundry activities every night of the week just to keep them off the streets. Pah, words fail me. However, on the basis that there's nothing better than a damned good argument, you get this month's Starletter prize. Oh. A satisfied customer. I'd like to thank K&M Computers of Skelmersdale, Lancs, for their kindness in sending me a free copy of Blue Wolf, following my letter in the June edition of Amstrad Action. DJ Pratt, Tonbridge, Kent. Trouble Down Under. As I was rereading AA47, I saw a letter from Jack Decker from Australia. I live in Sydney, and I am having the same problem. Lack of software, etc. There is, however, a shop which has selected new games, such as Chase HQ, about 2 months before I see the reviews in AA. As we get our AAs 2.5 months after they come out in England, the new games here arrive on the shelves at roughly the same time, and they are released in England, which is quite good, except we don't see the reviews yet, so we can't decide which ones to buy. The prices are very inflated, though I think they are justifiable. The C64 is quite popular here in Australia, but the CPC is certainly dying out. More and more shops are scrapping their CPC products. Sad is the least you could say. Raymond Young, Belmore, New South Wales, Australia. The CPC won't be dying out for long, Raymond. I'll say no more, except just wait for the next issue. Of course, if you get your AAs late, you may well have heard by then. Yeah, about that. Here's a helpline. I need PD programs from a PD library. Send me your programs or programs from other PD libraries. In particular, I want PD from Wacky. Oh. Every city has a mean street. Shadow Warriors. Interactive scenic backdrops. Phoenix backflip. Hand kick. Shadow Warrior. The hero of the 90s. Those arcade screenshots they're showing us. It's cheating. Naked Video. This month sees the 5th and final installment of Conrad Besson's series on the CPC video chip. And this time it's the turn of the big one. Split mode displays. Just like that. Multi-mode screen demo. 80-column high-resolution text up here and full-color monochrome image down below. Combining images in 2 modes on the same screen. Listing 1 and listing 2. And listing 3. Got 3 listings. The diagram above shows the row at which the electron beam is scanning the monitor at certain times during the 50th of a second display cycle. By changing the mode 300th of a second into a cycle, we can split the screen into 2 modes. Win a digitizer. Oh boy. Now's your chance to win a fantastic Rombo Vidi digitizer. It's featured in last month's multimedia feature. This wonderful device will take input from any video source, like a video camera or video recorder, and as you grab digitized stills, which can be stored and manipulated by your CPC. Simply plug the Vidi digitizer into the back of your CPC, connect it up to your video source with the supplied lead, and away you go. The software that comes with the digitizer lets you grab as many images as you like. They're continuously updated on screen, and then incorporate them into your programs and do whatever you like with them. The Vidi digitizer would normally cost $69.95, but one lucky winner of our competition will get it free. All you have to do is answer 3 simple questions. 1. Who invented the television? Was it A. John Logal Baird, B. Thomas Edison, C. Alexander Graham Bell? 2. What is the most common video recorder standard used today? A. Betamax, B. VHS, C. NTSC. 3. Finally, can you spell Rombo? A. No, certainly not. B. Well, if you give me a few minutes. C. Oh yes, no doubt. Really I could. Send your answers on a postcard, please, to digitize a combo. Of course, there are 1 or 2 rules. Closing date is 31st of August. No employees of Future Publishing, or our relatives, or anyone who knows them, even if they avoid them in Sainsbury, is eligible for re-entry. Only 1 entry is allowed per person. Send in more and we'll pile them up in the car park and set fire to them. Sensible Software's International 3D Tennis. International 3D Tennis is a revolutionary new tennis simulation. The innovative use of vector graphics has created a game with unrivaled playability and an unparalleled number of features. This is fab, a breakthrough. No one could fail to be impressed. CMVG 94% CMVG hit. It's smashing ace and beats the competition. Immense fun, demanding for novice and expert alike. The best sports game for ages. Zap 94%. Zap Sizzler. Here's the screenshots. Look at the 3D. A remarkable new 3D real-time animation system. 1 or 2 player games. 4 player ability levels. Amateur, semi-pro, pro and ace. View the game from any one of 10 camera angles. Infinite on ST and Amiga. Learn to play topspin and backspin balls. True control over the direction of your shots. TV tennis theme tunes. Anytime save option. 64 different computer opponents with 16 skill levels. 72 tournaments to play in, all based on real events with genuine court conditions and prize monies. 4 court surfaces, glass, grass, clay, carpet, and cement, each affecting gameplay. Yes, carpet. Digitized pictures, ST and Amiga. Digitized voice of real Wimbledon umpire, ST and Amiga. Choose which 22 tournaments to play in a full tennis season against world-class competition and aim to earn $1 million. C64 disc, Spectrum, Amstrad disc, ST and Amiga. A 3.5-inch disc drive, only $79.95 plus £3 carriage. Blockbuster. This is the make your own game and sell it thing. Try again. The main thrust of this article assumes that your game is good enough to be marketed. But what if your game doesn't make the grade? What do you do then? It's obviously very disappointing when all you get is rejection letters. But all's not lost. First, you can put it all down to experience. Next time you write a game, you'll know where you went wrong and be able to improve on your mistakes. Okay, so you've missed out on the money. It's unfortunate too that no one else will see your work. Well, not necessarily. If you abandoned all hope of fortune and wouldn't mind a bit of fame, why not try sending your software to the PD libraries? They're crying out for good quality programs to add to their stock lists and would be delighted to look at anything that has only just missed being on the shop shelves. The Oliver Twins, a typical coding success story. If only Ninja Massacre had done that well. That's enough daydreaming, Adam. Yeah. Happy birthday, Maxam. 5th anniversary. Ooh. The Big Four. Incredible way to buy the month's top titles. Rainbow Islands from Ocean. Any platform, even. I find it hard to believe that we're giving away software, but it's true. You simply buy any of the titles on this page at the normal retail price listed, and then you can pick any other title from the same title on a different format, absolutely free of charge. The only condition is that the value of the free game must not be greater than that of the game you're paying for. Apart from that, there are no strings attached. It's literally 2 for the price of 1, or 4 for the price of 2. The sky's the limit. Have you ever seen a better offer? Black Tiger. Oh boy. Forum. Adam Waring's regular slot for readers in need. This mouse is dead. Okay, this mouse is dead. About 6 months ago, I was given a mouse by a relative who decided to upgrade his machine. The whole package would have been about 3 years old when I received it. At first, everything was fine. I drew countless pictures, saved them to disk, and printed them out. However, after 3 weeks of use came a problem. I would start drawing a picture using AMX Art, and after about 10 minutes, the mouse would seem to stick. It ignored my commands, and no matter what I did, the pointer always drifted towards the right-hand side of the screen and stayed there. I've tried loosening the rollerball, setting up the mouse differently, and countless other things, but after so long the problem occurs again. My relative who owned the 464 has said that he had no problems with the mouse when he used it. After months of lying dormant in my bedroom, my mouse and art package have hibernated long enough. Please help me solve this problem and restore my mouse to its full health. Stuart Arnold, Halton, Leeds. Your mouse is filthy, Stuart. It needs mucking out. After 3 years of scurrying around on your desktop, it's picked up enough filth to make it a dirty rat. As you roll the little beast along, bits of dirt and dust get picked up by the ball. The ball turns 2 rollers, one for horizontal movement and the other for vertical. That's not only movement that's transferred though, all the grease and grime is too. Open up the mouse, you should see the rollers have grotty solid black tracks formed on them by years of accumulating grime. Scrape these off with the nearest pointed instrument to hand, being careful not to damage the mouse itself, and you should find that your mouse is as good as new. Mind your L's and 1s. This is the old Typin's typeface. The 1s and the L's look very similar. This is the proper CPC font, much better. Come on, of course it is. Compile. As I understand it, a basic compiler translates basic programs into machine code. If this is so, why bother learning machine code? What are the relative merits of a compiler or an assembler? Gee, wait, Leeds. Although a compiler converts an interpreted basic program into a series of machine code instructions, the resulting program isn't terribly efficient. A program written directly in machine code with an assembler will be many, many times faster than a compiled program. Gallery. Yeah, the gallery. Rom the Space Knight. Captain America. Slimer. This month's entries come from 1, 2, and 7. Martin McKenney of Swords, Ireland. Martin used Advanced Art Studio. 3. Stuart Colborne of Aylesbury, Bucks. Drawn using DK Tronics Light Pen. 4. John Knight from Leicester. Melbourne Draw was used. 5. Russell Davey of Maidstone, Kent, Advanced Art Studio user. 6. DJ Hawkins from Bristol, another Advanced Art Studio user. 8. Dave Tierney of Hamilton. David refused to tell us what he used. Well, look, it's Dennis the Menace. Oh, he's angry. And plutonium death, you're a pulse of alien weirdos. The cheat mode book. Can you afford to be without it? Turbo soft. Action test. We've reached the games. We must be raving mad. Don't answer that. These games just get better. Stunt Car Racer. Microprose's motor mangling masterpiece. Goes like hell and plays like heaven. AA pushes the pedal to the metal. In page 42. Is magic what it takes to improve on Laser Squad? Lords of Chaos gets it going over on page 50. International 3D tennis may look daft, but it doesn't play daft. Palace Susan Ace on page 54. Activision switches in the afterburners in Fighter Bomber. Find out why it rules the skies on page 36. Raf Checo does it again with Deliverance, cutesy colourful graphics, and ultra tough gameplay to test the best on page 53. Also reviewed, Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters, page 39. Dynasty Wars, Shadow Warriors, Kenny Dalglish Soccer Match, Rad Ramp Racer, and Super Trucks. The first game of the night is Fighter Bomber by Activision, $14.99 cassette, $19.99 disc, joystick or keys. Happiness is a laser-locked target. Fear is a locked SAM. Trouble is they tend to coincide. Fighter Bomber gives desktop pilots a taste of both with an adventure in techno war, as four nations try to bomb each other out of contention for the Curtis LeMay Trophy. Four classic fighter bombers sit armed, fueled, and ready to rock South Dakota. A McDonnell Douglas F-4E Phantom, a Panavia Tornado IDS, a Saab AJ-37 Viggen, and a MiG-27 Flogger D are yours to try and fly the state-of-the-art low-level weapons delivery systems. They're all capable of incredible performance, which is just as well as somewhere out on the test range are ground forces with the latest anti-aircraft systems primed, ready to blow you out of the sky. Bomber pilots have 8 missions in a practice mode. The latter lets you get the feel of how each plane handles, how fast it can fly, how quickly it turns. In combat, you must assess its suitability for the mission and each weapon's effectiveness. Bombers' missions get progressively tougher. The exercise is simulating modern aerial warfare. The war zone is South Dakota, and the missiles don't carry explosive warheads. But don't let that fool you. This is no pushover. The difficulty increases at the perfect pace to keep pilots on the edge of their ejector seats and scrap metal merchants stocked for months. The emphasis of each mission is not, surprisingly, bombing things. Tents, tanks, buildings, and people all get the treatment. Nowadays, there's very little bomb aiming to be done. It's a case of arming weapons 25 miles out, locking them onto a target and letting rip with a video-guided missile. At that range, though, it's hard to know whether the little white locked target cursor is actually on that tank or the office block behind it. And to dissuade cocky pilots from shooting everything just to make sure, blasting the locals earns a taste of their SAMs as well as the enemies. It's the logistics of the game that make Bomber such a challenge. You've got to select instrument layout. You've got to select the right heading, the right speed, the right height, and the right weapons. Pilots must remember the little things like avoiding the ground, to keep an eye on the threat radar and fuel consumption. All very easy when the sky is clear, but when you can hardly see the ground for incoming fire, it's all too easy to hit a field with $20 million plough. Each plane has a different handling and instrument layouts. The Vigan, for example, is the fastest, but falls like a brick if it climbs too steep. And instruments in odd places can be fatal if you don't spot the infrared missiles locked onto your afterburners. The variety of weapons is limited, but is all that is needed for the missions involved. Initially, you're limited to a few air-to-air sidewinders, a bunch of video-guided Maverick air-to-ground rockets, and a 30mm cannon. If the mission's incomplete, and all you've got left is the old pop gun, you know you're in trouble. You're in trub. Modern warplanes are fast, stunningly fast, and to be a successful simulation bomber, had to convey the dangerous thrill of Mark 1 at treetop level. It's quick, and the screen updates with a smooth speed unknown to its forerunners. There's little real scenery, with no trees, few buildings and mountains that look like Egyptian leftovers, and the targets are simple blocks until you get real close. This lack of landscape detail is balanced neatly by the amount of crammed in everywhere else. Numerous views of the plane are available for the pilot, although they are of little use apart from checking your wheels are down. Only the view from the airbase control tower is of any help, because using its zoom function, you can check which way home is. Bomber succeeds in simulation, but as its puzzling points of the game. The missions are varied in theme and target, but can only be accessed sequentially. So, if you don't finish your current challenge, there's no chance to try a new mission, which means if you hit a problem, you're stuck until you solve it. Vector graphics will amaze you with what they've managed to cram into Bomber. It's crisp, clear, colourful, and moves at speed, which makes it the undisputed air ace. The Sonics leaves a lot to be desired with a few cursory whines, whistles, and explosions, but then that's what the volume control's for. Fighter Bomber rules the CPC skies. It's quite simply Chuck Yeager with the added bonus of things to kill. To begin with, the challenges are easy enough, but soon the difficulty escalates to an exceptionally realistic degree. Annoyingly, there aren't enough missions to last really good pilots, and beginners could well get stuck on the earlier levels. Fighter Bomber gives you the chance to play with the high-tech toys normally reserved for military personnel. Once mastered, little beats the thrill of an expertly executed maneuver that tests every inch of the plane's design. First day target score. Complete level 2. Second opinion. Easier to fly than most flight sims, and fast. You get to shoot things too, and that makes it a good game great. Green screen. Some instruments are harder to read, but still playable. Way up here. Would you buy a used bomb from this man? General Curtis Emerson LeMay gave his name to the bomber trophy. He was a classic 50s classic Cold Warrior. He initiated the infamous low-level firebomb raids on Tokyo that killed more people than either a bomb and flattened the whole city. Okay. Well, as Strategic Air Command Chief, his solution to the Vietnam problem was bomb them back into the Stone Age. Very strategic. So one tip, if you win the trophy in a MiG, make sure it doesn't tick. AA's Ace of Aces, Pilot's Movie Guide. Number 1, 633 Squadron, Low-Level Thrills from the Mosquito Boys. Number 2, Top Gun, we feel the need for speed. Number 3, the Blue Max, monoplanes, they'll never get off the ground. 4, Battle of Britain, never have so many owed so much to so few bad effects. 5, Tora, Japanese fraternity prank goes horribly wrong. 6, Apocalypse Now, Huey's Ragnar and Napalm, a classic combo. 7, Dam Busters, who you gonna call? 8, Reach for the Skies, DB goes for the VC, and we don't mean a NAM. 9, Firefox, skill plane, tough movie, great fun. Number 10, Aces High, 5 go mad in the Somme, while fighting the Hun. Good. The verdict. Graphics 91%, brilliant, high speed 3D. So many views of so many planes. Sonic's 51%. Tolerable tunes. It's wine time. Grab factor 69%. Early missions are real easy. A toughie for new pilots. Staying power 89%. 6 very hard missions. Only 6. AA rating 89%. It's war and it's brilliant. Alright. Now we get to try to play the game, I guess. Yeah. Alright. Okay. And off we go. Fighter Bomber from Activision Simulation Software. Great computer game. Victor graphics. So it looks like this is Victor Fighter. Victor Fighter. Select a pilot. Return to select. Space to enter new pilot. A 3D view. Right. 3D. Info. The MiG-27 Flogger. Soviet Air Force. The Mikhail Gurevich MiG-27 Flogger D. Entering service 1974, this single-seat tactical attack aircraft with secondary reconnaissance capability is powered by a single Trumansky R-29B afterburning turbofan rated at 25,350 pounds with full afterburner. Its characteristic sloping nose allows the pilot the maximum view of the ground in low-level surface attack missions. Contained within the nose are the advanced and secret avionics. The aircraft probably has some sort of terrain following radar, along with inertial navigation system, which gives it a similar capability to Britain's Tornado. It is unlikely that the Flogger will have the same level of sophistication as the installed and the single-seat attack aircraft would not be taken lightly by any adversary. Maximum speed at altitude, Mach 1.7, 1123 mph. Maximum speed at sea level, Mach 1.1, 836 mph. Surface ceiling, 52,495 feet, 16,000 meters. Takeoff distance, 800 meters, 2,625 feet. You got a Tornado, the F4 Phantom, AJ-37 Viggen. That's what it looks like. The Royal Swedish Air Force, the Saab AJ-37 Viggen. The Royal Swedish Air Board set the aviation world alight when plans for the System 37 were announced in the early 60s. It was to be a standardized weapons system integrating many aspects of air defense and attack. The central feature of System 37 was a manned supersonic aircraft, the Saab Viggen. The airplane was uniquely configured with a fixed 400 square foot wing preceded by a canard foreplane, which gives the aircraft an excellent STOL, short takeoff and landing, and turn radius. The power plant of the Saab is a license-built Pratt & Whitney two-shaft turbofan developing 25,970 pounds of thrust, enabling the aircraft to reach 32,800 feet from a standing start in just 100 seconds. Yeah, but we need a better mic. Yeah. Maximum speed, 36,100 feet. Mach 2, 1,320 mph. Maximum speed of 330 feet. Mach 1.2, 914 mph. Service ceiling, 60,000 feet, 18,290 meters. Combat radius, full load, 476 kilometers, 296 miles. Takeoff distance, 400 meters, 1,312 feet. Yeah. Dr. 2D, thank you. Yeah, we'll go for the Viggen. We'll stick that. Now we have some fun. It's if we figure out how to play the game, of course. For free flight, we've got covert. Select start position on runway. We have 30,000 feet above bridge. Lined up. Now we wait for it to load, I guess. Oh, here we go. Now I suppose we have to figure out I think the number keys are engine. Definitely wheel brake for a minute, wasn't it? Yep. Do we start moving yet? Yes. We're moving. We're moving. We're moving. Whoa, up. Here we go. Up. Okay. Got off the ground. G for gear or whatever. Yes, it is. Assume green means gears down. I assume. Flying around now. Okay. No such weapons. Okay, B is air brake apparently. Flare released. Okay, F is flare. Push B again. Okay. Is that radar distance or something? Oh, there's our view. View from behind, I guess. View from above. Okay. Okay. Still, how do we select weapons? Do I have to look up the instructions? Pause the game. I paused the game without noticing. Oh! Okay then. We will look this up. Look this up. We figured out to switch weapon once and we haven't been able to do it since. Operations guide. It's going to have controls in it, doesn't it? So the manual mentioning there's 7 aircraft in the game. Not in this version. Craft data. There's plenty of stuff in here. Controls will be nice though. Okay, guess it's not in that one then. Okay, here we go. Return a select weapon. There's 3 weapons: cannon, sidewinder, and maverick missiles. Sidewinder missiles are used on air targets. Maverick missiles are used on ground targets. Space will fire the weapon. S to lock missile onto target. Okay. N is show next target or objective. Okay. Alright, yeah. No weapon. Cannon. There's probably no targets around anyway. Okay. Refly mission? No. Let's see if we can start a mission. See how far we can get. New mission. Come on. We can do it. Covert. Sleeper. Okay. From here to there. Mission text. Intelligence reports indicate terrorist cell camped in mountain range 60 miles west of Ellsworth AFP B. Believed to be carrying small arms and explosives. Dawn raid on base expected. Surrounding terrain makes commando raid non-viable option. Air attack approved. Approach area at low level and destroy camp with appropriate armament. No enemy aircraft has been sighted. Return to Ellsworth on completion and land. Oh boy, we get land! It's gonna be fun. Info. Command tent. Air base. Not very accurate, this pointer. Okay. And we wait for it to load some more. Okay. Okay. Go. Target 1. Heading 275. Alright. Get able the runway runs out. To 280. Two. Overshot that. go low altitude, so too low a little bit. Can you target it now? No? Oh, locked? Okay. Alright. Not like it's going to go anywhere. Get closer, I suppose. We need more than one shot. We need to get closer. Maybe it was the air-to-ground missiles, wasn't it? I'm sure. Oh, there goes. Target destroyed. Okay, this took a while to get there. Missiles not super fast. Okay. So, back to the air base again. And we try to land somehow. Probably going to be the hardest part of the game, landing. Usually is for flight sims. Is it evening out for me? I need 10 more. There's my gear down in this, didn't I? Which is the one that's from the base? That is, I don't know. I'm on the ground. I'm on the ground. Somehow I ended up on the ground and I didn't even notice. Well. Just well, I had to gear down. seal runway. Probably tune in the right direction for it, right? If we have room for it. Takes long enough to get there. So which is the left here, right? Yeah, the left. It's the direction it's pointing. Gotta line up with it somehow. Be fun times. Speed a bit. Oops. I think I landed too steeply. Refly mission? No, I don't really want to do that again. As usual, the mission's the easy bit and the landing is the hardest. It's always landing. Course flowing. Planned course. Mission report. You destroyed 0 of the specified targets. What are you talking about? I destroyed the target? The target destroyed and everything. You will have to try again. No thanks. Yeah, I think I'm good. We'll move on to the next game, I suppose. Right, next game. This is Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters by Domark. $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. The plot is simple. A bevy of beautiful girls have been abducted to Planet X by evil reptilons. A disgrace, utterly immoral and downright evil. Clearly, something must be done. And you're just the man to do it, but time is running out. A massive factory complex stands boldly against the flame-lit sky. Your eyes are fixed on that building, and what you see sends a tingle down your spine. You see the place is absolutely crawling with robot monsters, reptilons actually, and they are waiting there just for you. Your objective in Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters is to rescue these enslaved hostages and make your escape. Either 1 or 2 players must work their way through a large factory complex of factories. Okay, destroying as many reptilons as humanly possible on the way. To help you wipe out these mechanical monstrosities, you have just a ray gun and a few bombs. But inside the lockers you find on your way there's food, extra energy, more bombs, and even some special weapons. Also, some of the reptilons leave behind green crystals when shot, and these crystals enhance your ray power. To make your way around the factories, you will need to use the escalators. These can only be activated by finding the power switches. You'll find 1 or 2 escalators on each level, as well as a few ladders. Surely a factory run by robots would use elevators, right? The different levels you have to conquer each have a variety of hazards to overcome. These include diddly moving floor tiles and large metal spheres that'll flatten you in seconds unless you're quick. The robots come in all shapes and sizes, and each type has its own characteristics. One particular type resembles, well, a Weetabix man, complete with sunglasses. Amusing they may be, but don't you laugh at these robots for long, or you'll end up cooking in a fireball. Most of the robots encountered will keep reappearing after the shot, which makes your task twice as difficult. Plenty of shooting practice is needed to make much progress, and a hasty retreat is certainly advisable once you've cleared the screen. The obligatory end-of-level baddies put in an appearance too, but only every 3 levels. Probably just as well, as these are real tough critters. This is where the bombs come in. Without them, you're in for a rough ride. You have 3 energy squares representing your life force, and once all 3 of these energy squares are lost, bang, 1 life gone. You lose energy by clashing with the robots, and in some cases, you can lose a whole life in one go, depending on the nastiness of your opponent. The robots aren't the only problem either. The isometric 3D factory consists of a series of raised walkways and platforms. Get too close to the edge and your little man falls off, only to hang on by his fingertips. Give him a few moments and he'll scramble his way back up again. A bit of fun bit of animation. But since he's never actually in danger of falling, it's a bit of a time waster, really. Whenever you come across a hostage, you simply run to them and beam them aboard your waiting ship. Sometimes, however, they will be imprisoned inside glass cases. You have to find the nearby computer console, then obliterate them with your ray gun, real scientific stuff, to set them free. Escape features a good deal of quality programming. The sprites are well drawn and animated, and the graphics are a whole conjure with a style of atmosphere of the scenario. Something. It's cool, it's a bit cut off here. The isometric Mach 3D layout harks back to game styles of a few years ago, but it looks good and plays well, so don't let it put you off. Sound is good too. Overall, Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters is a polished and entertaining game. The 1-player mode is good, but the simultaneous 2-player option will make many a long hour of happy blasting. Oh, and don't forget the hostages. Mark H. Second opinion. It looks a bit old-fashioned at first with that isometric 3D style, but it's very playable, great fun, and that 2-player mode adds an extra dimension to an already fun game. Green screen loses a lot of its appeal. First day target score is practically unreadable. Destroy an end-of-level Reptilon. Okay. Robot Monsters, The Untold Story. Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters is a tribute to those brave pioneers in 1950s Hollywood who gave their careers to the pursuit of naffness. Strangely enough, the film entitled Robot Monster was the best worst of the bunch, a film so bad it has a Y movie rather than a B feature. R.E.M. was made in 1953 by Phil Tucker, nominated as the worst director of all time. It was the thrilling tale of an alien invasion of Earth. The cruel fiends cunningly disguised themselves as gorillas in diving helmets, aiming to learn how to be like the human, to laugh, feel, want. Anyone who's seen the movie would actually recommend a convincing costume, a decent script, and a budget in excess of $3.47 as priorities. Defending the movie till last, Tucker claimed, "I still do not believe there is a soul alive who could have done as well for as little money. For the budget, I feel we achieved greatness." Okay. The verdict: graphics 82%, bright and colourful. Detailed structure and layout. Sonic 66%, reasonable combat effects. Grab factor 76%. Controls are difficult at first. 2-player exploration is fun. Staying power 80%, lots to explore. High speed excitement. AA rating 78%. Have you had your Weetabix? You'll need it. Okay. Domark, wasn't it? Yeah. And that doesn't fit. Shrink it a bit. There we go. Perfect. Well, perfect enough. Okay. No, we're not cheating. Escape from the planet of the Robot Monsters, licensed to Domark. Copyright 1990 Tinjin Inc. Copyright Atari Games Inc. Trademark. Ah! Your mission: to transport all hostages back to your ship. Find and destroy all robots. Find and rescue Professor Cerebellum. To seek out and destroy the evil Reptilons. Credits: Z80, Jim Tripp, 68000, Barry Costas, 6502, Andy Ware. Graphics: Neil Adamson. Hey, back to mission again. Let's start. Press bomb mark. Okay. Okay. We have tank controls because of course we can. Great. have to go this way, huh? Remember, these balls kill you instantly if they touch you. Be careful of that. Where's the Weetabix men? I don't know how to shoot that hostage. So no, you can. It's a thing you can do. Oh, that was lucky. Oh, yeah, like that. That kills you instantly. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Gotta take a death of that. That's awful. Oh. And, oh yeah, just jump me right back here again. Oh. Ah. Let's get back up. Oh gosh. Aiming would be nice. Up. Great. Up. Why does this have to be tank controls? Whee. Next stage. We'll get it eventually. Got it finally. Up we go. Okay, I guess yellow square, orange squares will kill you. Of course, they kill you too. Invincibility, yay. That thing. Oh, still fall off. Up we go. Spikes. Just spawn in front of me, it's fine. What? How'd that kill me? Uh-oh. Oops. Oh, back. Okay. Hostages respawn for reasons. Couldn't tell which way I was facing. Off we go. Oh, another one of these. I'll die eventually. Here we go. Oh, he ducked it back again, just like they did before. Oh, don't shoot. Oh, jeez. Oh, good. Yeah, oh, that's it. You just die. Oh, yeah, that's Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters. We'll move on. Next game is Dynasty Wars by US Gold. $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc. Joystick or keys. Do not despise the snake for having no horns, for who is to say that it will not become a dragon? An old Chinese proverb says. Gibberish it may sound, but it's true. For it writ large in the legends of feudal China that 4 warriors overthrew an empire. They were considered harmless. The last remnants of the fallen Han clan. But they became the legend known as the Dynasty Wars. Individually, they had no power, but fighting in 2 pairs, they had the power to defeat the rebellious warlords who had dethroned their family. Now you have a chance to wreak havoc and let loose the dogs of the Dynasty Wars and control these warriors on their quest for bloody vengeance. The 4 Hans ride horseback into a horizontally scrolling battlefield. They carry horsemen's halberds with which to overcome their opponents. They are usually run-of-the-mill peasant conscripts, and they provide no real challenge to the might of the seasoned soldiers of the Han clan. They attack with arrows and swords, but only need a quick poke in the head to cut them down. Admittedly, they do come in waves, but even those don't pose much of a threat. The black sheep of this wimpy family, however, are the generals. They ride horses and have weapons every bit as pokey as your own, and they take an awful lot of killing. But with careful planning and deft riding, they soon eat dirt, just like their troops. In attack, the hero selected, one of the 4 on offer, can either fire short stabbing shots by holding the fire button down, save up for a real meaty, or by holding the fire button down, save up for a real meaty blast. The little hits are good enough for the foot soldiers, but the generals deserve every bit of saved power you can muster. Shooting off the spear shots couldn't be easier. Just line up the horse with the enemy and release the fire button. The horses limit the direction of fire to forward and back, so the only thing to watch as you scroll along is how much power you've got in reserve, and to make sure you're in line with any incoming foes. Dynasty Warriors also have another trick up their sleeve: tactics. In real life, this would mean sneaking up behind the bad boys and slaying them with the aid of surprise. In China, tactics means magic. Using arcane powers and a key press, the Hans can call in either a firestorm or a rock slide. These are fatal for the ordinary foot slogger, damaging to the generals and only cost you a few hit points to cast. The only disadvantage is that you have to wait until the tactics option is available, when a message appears by the score tables. Each of the 4 warriors has special abilities and weaknesses. Generally, the harder they can hit something, the fewer hit points displayed in an analog energy bar they get. Both damage potential and damage resistance can be improved by collecting orbs and shiny new spears during the battle. That's it, a chop 'em up on horseback. It consists of 8 levels and 1 life per player. The enemy, while not dangerous individually, wear you down eventually by sheer force of numbers. It's diverting, with some smart Akira-style picks at the front end and a refreshingly different tune throughout the game. The concept, albeit borrowed from the arcade original, is different too, taking the beat-em-up genre for a quick canter. But the game itself is dull. Kill the foot soldiers too quickly, and you have to sit around and wait for the screen to scroll on. At the end of a level, life gets confusing as the sprites all merge into a seething, sword-waving mass. Unnecessary evil as the range of colour is sacrificed for good graphics. But even bearing this in mind, the problem's the problem all the same. Dynasty Wars claims to retell the most blood-stained chapter in history, but if that's the case, feudal China looks quite a nice place to spend your summer holes. Backgrounds are pretty, good skiing on level 3, and there's plenty of time to sightsee. Travel's easy if you find the key press cheat. First day tagger score, reach level 3. Singed opinion. Looks really impressive at first, so it's a shame the gameplay ultimately doesn't live up to the graphics. An original and an interesting game though. Green screen, life gets even more confusing in a crowd. A verdict. Graphics 71%. Small but detailed horsey sprites and riders. Large groups get muddled by the backdrop. Sonic 77%. Good original game theme. Grab factor 71%. Moderate pace and easy gameplay means instant appeal. Staying power 41%. Killing gets repetitive after a while. Only 1 life. AA rating 72%. Inventive if slightly tame conversion. Huh. Dynasty Wars. Press 1 to start. Press 2 for 2P start. Capcom. Oh no, it's TTX. Liu Bei. Whatever. He is descended from Emperor K of the Han Dynasty. Huan Yu. He is not only a great warrior who defeated many famous enemies, but also educated and well-mannered. Shang Fei. He stands in the middle of a bridge brandishing a snake halberd to put thousands of enemies to rout. Xiao Yun is a true warrior who sweeps through millions of enemies with ease. High score table. He is descended from Emperor K of the Han Dynasty. He swears to be brothers with Kuan Yu to defeat Huan Qing. Yeah, okay. Can we continue now? Okay, player 1, you choose controls. Just 1. Player 1, choose hero. Okay, let's go. Round 1. Off we go. Oh. Okay, shoot overheat, it's fine. Okay. It will start scrolling again. Rock slide. Right, off we go again. Okay, this scrolling stops for us to get out of the thing here. I didn't check which one I am already. Oh, here you go. Is that our rock slide, is it? Probably dying here. Okay, got one down. There we go. Alright. I've killed the general. Round 2. I would say this is exactly the most exciting game ever. Oh jeez, I'm dying. Oh, go on. Okay. I've killed the general. Round 3. Oh no, we're dying. We're down to 2 life now. Right, dead. Game over. 1 life, that's all you get. There's the high score table. Why are we not getting our name on the high score table? We had more than 500 points. Anyway, we'll move on. Next game. There's nowhere to hide from Sly Spy. This game is Stunt Car Racer by Microstyle. $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys or mouse. Joystick, keys or mouse. Hard Driving meets Chase HQ, and the result is a truly awesome Stunt Car Racer. It brings you the thrill of an accurate driving simulation. Plus, the sheer excitement of fender-to-fender racing, where everything goes, even high-speed ramming. Set in the mythical time when F1 racing was banned for being bland, stunt car racing is the new sport that has emerged to satisfy the public's need for thrills, spills, and automotive antics. Short sprint racing around insane roller coaster courses, the stunt cars, the sand buggies with outrageous amounts of boost under the bonnet. The courses are the result of some funfair designer's worst nightmare, which means there's plenty to satisfy the public's lust for blood and your need for stunning head-to-head driving action. The game itself is simple in concept. You're a driver at the start of a racing season, and thanks to the right incentives and crossing the correct palms of silver, you've won a place in the Stunt Car League, albeit in the 4th division. Now your aim is to rise through the ranks and win promotion to the top of the tree. There are 3 drivers per division, and each division has 2 tracks. To win promotion, a driver must earn more points than his rivals. There's 2 for a win and 1 for the fastest lap. Finishing top means more dangerous driving. Finishing last means it's Swindon City, as you are dropped down a league. The racing itself is where the art is. Towering above the countryside, the tracks are impressive with ramps, bumps, and banked corners. The cars are winched up by crane with engines running ready for a drop start. Slowly but surely, the cars swing into position. Seconds later, they're dropped with the power unit at full revs. The boost button pressed to the floor. When the chains release, the cars charge forward, flames licking out of the afterburners. As the 2 cars jockey for position, a small flag flashes on the dash. Red if the other guy's in front, green if you've nabbed an early lead. Each track starts with a straight, so there's always little to choose between the buggies as they scream towards the first obstacle. It's how you fare from here that matters. Sweeping through the first banked bend, the cars can be seen going head to head. Your dashboard and engine stretch out ahead as if the other guy is doing well. You can see his motor as he overtakes. Of course, using the boost, you can scream past him, giving a playful nudge in the process. Now it's your call. Is it best to hassle from behind, noting his line and speed, or blast through and trust to blind luck? Feel that stomach churning thrill of leaping high into the air off ramps, only to massively overshoot and land in the middle of the next corner. Crest hills and watch the nose dive down as the track drops away from under your wheels. Scream in anger as an overly rapid approach to a reverse camber throws you clear of the track and spinning into space. Crashes are bad news. Firstly, they cost the race. A crane has to winch you back onto the track. There's only time to do this once and still have a chance. More importantly, there's the damage it does. As you impact on the track or hit the ground from a great height, a crack starts to grow at the top of your safety cage. After a really heavy knock, holes appear too. If the crack reaches all the way across, the car's a wreck and it's race over. Luckily, the crack's repaired between bouts, so the motor always has a clean bill of health at the start. A hole, on the other hand, is with you for the rest of the season. The art of the game is knowing when to use your limited amount of boost, when it's best to leap a hill and when it's best to go slow and ensure you stay on the track. Stunt car racers have to balance the potential damage of smashing around the track and crashing into opponents against the need to finishing in one piece. There are 8 crazy tracks to learn, each more improbable and dangerous than the last, and 11 speed freaks to beat. It's head-to-head to racing at its best, meanest, and most convincing. Technically, the game's as stunning to look at as it is fun to play. The graphics are Spartan, but are solid enough to be thoroughly convincing. The tracks are fast, real fast, and always easy to see, if not stay on. The right balance has been struck between reality and playability. The steering's self-centering, and there are no gears, but the vehicle movement is spine-jarringly accurate. The gameplay comes not only from the racing, but the damage, the limited boost, and the hugely different courses. Stunt Car Racer comes from the MicroStyle label, and with MicroProse as the parent company, you know the game is going to be thoroughly thought out and implemented. Stunt Car has a special 6128 version, a special green screen version, and can be played with an AMX mouse. Now that's attention to detail. With the pace of the race, the smoothness of the screen updates, the variety of options, and more playability than any one game deserves, it stakes its claim as one of the best games ever on the CPC. It's got a wicked hook, and with the save driver feature, enough gameplay to last even the most ardent desk-bound driver for decades. Stunt Car Racer is simply the best. Drive, baby, drive! Put that pedal to the metal and go crazy. Why? Because you have to be slightly touched to even consider taking on this crowd of speed nutters. But you'd also be nuts to miss the chance of this much fun shoehorned into one game. First day target score. Win the 4th division. Second opinion. The 3D graphics move really fast, but car control is well up to the on-screen speeds. Very playable indeed. Green screen. The special mono version is superb. The verdict. Graphics 91%. Super fast 3D racing. Spartan but special. Sonics 3%. Buzzsaw engines. Grab factor 98%. Anyone could pick it up in seconds. 8 courses to practice. Staying power 94%. The computer drivers are tough. And the courses are too. A rating 96%. A truly stunning racing sim that leaves the rest for dead. Alright. Okay. And Stunt Car Racer. 608 vision, thank you very much. Extended vision, loading. And that's what your car looks like. Still loading, please wait. Amstrad 128K disc version, copyright Jeff Kremen, 1988-90. Conversion by Pete Cook. Press space. Please select keys. Joystick or AMX mouse. Press fire to continue. Press select monitor type. Color monitor or TV. Right, single player league, multiplayer, define keys. Right, single player league. Man. Division 1. Oh, got ski jump. Select. Practice. Start the racing season. Yeah, let's get straight into it. This is jumping jack. And the track of the little ramp. Race 3 of 6. Steer to rotate, fire to continue. Another angle. What's this angle? Let's go. Drop start. See how awful we will do. Oh, he's off. Boost, boost, boost. Right, around him, here we go. Boost. Just a bit. Don't overdo it for this hill. Ramp. Oh, get too close to the edge. Race 1. Do I have to do any more? Press fire. Best lap, 50.6 seconds. Okay. I got 2 points. Another point for fastest lap. Race 4 of 6. Do the humpback. Okay. Next race. Trip start. He certainly has better acceleration than I do. So probably keep it a little slowed up here. Whee! Alright, how am I gonna catch up to this dude? Yee. Get more turbo on. I want to speed it up here. I'll get past this dude. There you go, right past him. Oh no, he's still there. Oh, he's getting him away. Out of the way! Okay. Oh, you keep past me again. Race 1. Yeah, crash. Doesn't matter. Does it matter? I won. Huh? Alright, the little ramp. Race 5 or 6. Back to the little ramp. Do it again. He'd start here. Boost. Careful. Oh no! Oh no, he screwed it! Well, that was fun. Oh, he's ahead of us. Too much turbo. again, you idiot! Here you go. Great. It's going so well. Oh no, we're off again! Get back a note. Bad idea, turbo on corners. Well, we lost this one. Race lost. Yep. Figured. One more. Race 6 of 6. Humpback. What are you getting in my way for? Hey, he's pushing me off! He's pushing me off! Great! Okay, can we catch up again? Yeah, I don't think we're winning this one. Either. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Just lost. Press fire. Oh, 1 point for the fastest lap. Oh, somehow still won. Promotion. Big ramp and stepping stones. We'll have one race in Division 3. See what this track's like. Big Ed. Oh boy. Stepping stones. Oh no, we're not overdo these, do we now? Oh though. Whee! Okay. I don't think you want to go too fast on those. Gonna make the jump? We're not gonna make that jump from that distance, are we? Oh, I think the car's wrecked. I'm not sure where we are at this point. We're somewhere in space. Oh, we can reverse. Rick. get a choice down there. Press fire. Oh yeah, that's Stunt Car Racer. We'll leave that for there now. We'll move on to the next game. Do one more. It is Stunt Car Racer. Stunt Car is utterly brilliant. Offers adrenaline-pumping, gut-wrenching, high-speed action that'll keep you engrossed for months. CNVG. Stunt Car Racer is available for ST, Amiga, PC, Spectrum, and Commodore 64. Missing one. Alright, next game is Shadow Warriors by Ocean. $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc. As quiet as a breeze and quick as the wind, a lone warrior slinks through the shadows with only one thing on his mind: to rid the streets of the bad guys that make America what it is today. But it's not the street punks that are the problem this time. An oriental demon has gone and possessed the strength of the biggest, boldest warrior around. He's brought a few friends with him too. It's Ghoul City. Shadow Warrior has a mission. He's out for vengeance, and thing who stands in his way is going to die. Shadow Warrior is a beat 'em up with a difference. There's none of this pull down and left simultaneously while pressing fire for the sweeping back attack business. Shadow Warrior can look after himself and take out bad guys with only the slightest guidance from you. Push the joystick in the direction you want to fight and press fire. The ninja then launches into a series of punches, kicks, and death-dealing blows with various other parts of his anatomy. And he has a few other tricks up his sleeves of his polyester and viscose pajamas too. He can jump pretty darn high for a start. Spectacular but not necessarily that useful, as he lands in the same place again. However, being a ninja with a vice-like grip has its advantages. He can grab hold of lampposts mid-flight, swing over the top with a couple of forward somersaults, land on the other side of his adversary, and kick his brains out. Shadow Warriors follows the same format as so many other walk along and beat the enemy to a pulp games. Shinobi, Ninja Spirit, Double Dragon, Ninja Warriors. They're all basically the same. Okay. Doing the dudes on the street and meet a real mean mother at the end. There's no exception in the scenario, so a couple of gameplay twists have been added instead. The backgrounds are slightly more interactive than the norm, as well as the standard platforms that you can walk on. There are also overhanging features that you can grab onto, useful for getting out of trouble quick, and in later levels it provides a novel way of getting across the road. The control system too has been greatly simplified. No longer do you need a brain the size of a planet to remember all those complicated joystick commands and actions. To fight, simply press fire and left or right. You're instantly converted into one human-killing machine. The simplified fighting system is really oversimplified. It becomes a fighting game without the fight. Whoever gets the first punch in wins. As soon as you start your attack, you become a spinning ball of fury. And anything on the receiving end doesn't stand a chance. If they make the first move though, then it's rare that you recover in time to avoid the big KO. Normally this isn't a problem. Go into attack mode as soon as you see your enemy and he'll blunder blindly into your path. Get two on screen and things get a bit more tricky. The crafty blighters try and maneuver themselves into a position where there's one on either side of you. That's usually the idea. You have a side-on view of the action. Your main man can move into and out of the screen to a limited degree. His high-powered jumps can get him to the top of buildings, or he can grab onto overhanging surfaces and swing around until he gets bored up there. When the side of the screen is reached, it flicks to the next section. This breaks up the action a bit, but scrolling would have been preferred. It's fairly easy to progress, as long as you manage not to be caught between two guys. Then wiping the floor with them becomes a formality. When the ghouls appear on screen, they are motionless, but they are not easy targets. Kick and punch them as much as you like, they won't bat an eyelid. As soon as they do come to life, a few well-armed blows, and they're dead meat. The end-of-level Guardian poses no real problems. Deal with them the same way as you would any other. He gets up a few times more, but gets in the first kick, and you'll get in the first kick, and you'll get him every time. Graphics are colourful and clear. Your chap dons the standard ninja suit, while the baddies dress slightly more casually. The backgrounds that interact do it well, and overall it's thumbs up. Sound is a rather different story. Limited in the extreme, it consists only of crude hitting noises. Shadow Warrior enters the already well-saturated genre. It's better than some, but not as good as others. The lack of control over the fighting moves isolates the player from the action somewhat. It's not that it's a bad game, it's just that it doesn't offer anything that hasn't been seen on the CPC so many times before. First day target score. Another one that's hard to read. Fight your way to level 2. Second opinion. Much easier than most fighting games initially because you don't have to learn the moves. Soon though, you realise that you don't have to learn anything. Green screen tends to clash in places. The verdict, graphics 80%, crisp, clean and mean. Sonics 20%. What Sonics? Grab factor 75%, a downside easier to control than most fighting games. Staying power 66%, fighting is repetitive. A rating 68%, seen it all before. Okay. Alright. Next. Shadow Warriors. By Tick. And now we wait. There we go. Shadow Warriors, fire to start. Copyright Action. M. Talbot. D. College. M. Furnace. Fire to start. There we go. Oh, yeah, they hit you quick. And that's one thing down. And down again. Okay. Time to start. Yeah, one hit down. Oh. Yeah, that's one life down. Oh, sorry. Was that a credit? And down. Get them all on one side. Oh, jeez. They get up quick. Set it. They just hit you immediately. Shoot it this way so they can't get behind you. Really? Oh, here we go. We just do this. Throw. Throw. It looks weird throwing this. Oh, there's just two of them. Where'd that guy come from? Really? Dude. Okay, let's go. Oh, you get up there. Just do this all day. This is a lot safer. Just here, do this. There you go. Just jump. Whee, whee. Oh! Is that where you got a punch in? I gotta follow you. Just do this until you get thrown. Prepare to meet the Guardian. Here he is. Alright, you can't. You go. Here's all some invincibility frames. Hey, got behind me. How do you do that? Run clear. for level 2. Right, we got the car section. Okay, this works. Oh, item. Gimme. Thank you. Let's keep doing this. This works fine. Yeah, not a problem. Oh, this, huh? I like these signposts that you jump on that just hang there in nothingness. Punch, punch, punch. Ow. Ow. There's even an item there that I cannot get to. It's fine. Ow. Oh. Ow. Ow. Right. More. I got rid of them. Ow. Wait till you're in the... Right, the two of them. Alright, I thought I turned around again. Okay, they're gone. Let's go. Wonderful. God damn it. Can't really react to them most of the time. Prepare me the Guardian. Oh no, don't get to them. Two tall dudes. Ow. We did again. Can't hit them, apparently. Wonderful. Can't hit them. Can't hit them. They outrange you. Let's go do the throws, I guess. Here, round clear. Ready for level 3. I have the feeling we might have infinite lives. As a credit, you just get 1 life per credit. It seems unfair. Oh jeez. Oh. What? I was kicking in that direction. Oh, I've got more appearing. More. Oh, ran into it. Oh. Well. Yep. Do it again. Here we got a sword. We have a sword. I'm not sure it helps. Yeah, I don't think the sword helps at all. Oh! Right, whoa. Just clipped up there, huh? Wonderful. I'm not going to tell if he's going behind me or not. Oh, really? See if you can clip up again. Yeah, you just walk up there, clips up there, just for you. Wonderful. We're going to meet the Guardian. Oh god, no, I've got 3 of them. They make no sound when they hit you. I'm sure one of them will die eventually. I see, a lot safer than doing anything else. Exciting. Oh, we're down to 1. Can we not hit him? Do they have to go behind you? Oh, yeah, we can kick him. Good. Oh yeah, the invincibility! I forgot. Round clear. Ready for level 4. Wonderful. I saw it coming. I saw that coming. Oh no. Ow. 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 Can we jump up here? Yes, we can. And we get it immediately. Oh, we are up the top. One. Come on. Come on. Where's he going? I can't go back any further. Okay. Hey, so these mechanics are a little broken, I think. Can't walk off that. Can't just clip off that the edge. Oh, jeez. Come on, get back up here. Here. He comes from behind instead. Of course he does. Oh, right into it, huh?